Welcome to The Explainer. Today we're breaking down a fundamental concept in biology, homopolysaccharides.
So let's start with a puzzle that really gets to the heart of our topic today. Think about a potato. It's soft, starchy, and a great source of energy, right? Now think about a tree. It's hard, fibrous, provides structural support. Here's the crazy part. At their chemical core, they're both built from the exact same simple sugar, glucose. So how is that even possible? Okay, let's dive into this.
To solve this puzzle, we first need to get to know the main characters here. We're talking about these incredibly long chains, or polymers, that are made from just a single type of sugar, repeated over and over and over again. And that brings us to our key term for today, homopolysaccharide. You know, the name really says it all. You've got homo for same, poly for many, and saccharide for sugar. They're also called homoglycans. The best way to think about them is like an incredibly long necklace made from just one kind of bead, linked together thousands of times.
And this is the million-dollar question, isn't it? If the starch in that potato and the cellulose in that tree are both just these long chains of glucose, what on earth gives them such wildly different properties? What makes one soft and a source of food, and the other tough and totally indigestible for us?
Well, the answer lies in a tiny but incredibly powerful difference in how these sugar units are actually connected. It's this subtle little twist in the chemical bond that has absolutely massive consequences for the entire structure.
Okay, so the whole secret is this alpha versus beta linkage thing. When glucose units are joined with what we call an alpha linkage, the chain naturally twists into this flexible, helical coil. It's perfect for packing away energy in a compact space that our digestive enzymes can easily get to and break down. But when you link those exact same glucose units with a beta bond, the whole thing changes. The chain becomes straight and rigid. These straight fibers can then stack together to form super strong structures. And here's the kicker. Our enzymes can't break those beta bonds.
So this is the key takeaway for today. If you remember one thing, make it this simple little rule. Alpha is for storing energy, and beta is for building support. Store with alpha, support with beta.
All right, let's see how this actually plays out. We'll start with our first family, the alpha-linked polymers. These are the molecules that life uses to basically squirrel away energy for later. So in plants, the main energy reserve is starch, and it actually comes in two forms. First, you have amylose, which is just a long, straight, unbranched chain of glucose. Then you have amylopectin. It's mostly the same, but it also has these extra bonds that create branch points. Now, why does that matter? Well, those branches give our digestive enzymes more places to attack at once, which affects how quickly we can break down the starch and get energy from it. Now, we animals don't really store starch. Instead, our go-to energy reserve is a molecule called glycogen. We keep it stocked up mainly in our liver and our muscles. Structurally, it's a lot like amylopectin from plants, but it takes that whole branching idea and really turns it up to 11. And this design is absolutely brilliant for its function. Glycogen is way more branched than starch. Think about it. All those branches mean there are tons of little ends for our enzymes to latch onto simultaneously. This allows for an incredibly rapid release of glucose into our bloodstream whenever we need a quick burst of energy, like during exercise or if we haven't eaten in a while. Okay, so that's the storage squat. Now let's flip over to the other side of the divide. The tough, structural polymers that are built with those rigid beta linkages. And this brings us right back to the tree. Cellulose is actually the most abundant organic molecule on the entire planet. It's what gives plant cell walls all their strength and rigidity. And yeah, it's made of glucose, just like starch, but it's connected with those beta bonds. And since we don't have the specific enzyme needed to break those bonds, it just passes right through us undigested. And that's not a bad thing. It acts as essential dietary fiber that keeps our digestive system healthy.
And, cellulose isn't alone on the structure team. Meet chitin. It uses a slightly modified version of glucose, but the principle is exactly the same. It uses that super strong beta linkage to create the hard, protective exoskeletons of insects and crustaceans, and even the cell walls of fungi. It's basically nature's armor.
Now, while glucose is definitely the star of the homopolysaccharide world, it's not the only player on the field. Other simple sugars can also form these long chains, and they each have their own really unique and important functions. Take inulin, for example. This one's a polymer made from fructose, and you find it in plants like chicory. And just like cellulose, our bodies can't digest it. But here's where it gets cool. This indigestibility is actually its medical superpower.
Because it gets filtered by our kidneys without being reabsorbed, doctors can measure how quickly it clears from the blood to get a really precise reading of how well your kidneys are functioning.
And finally, there's dextran. This is another polymer of glucose, but this time it's put together by bacteria and yeast. It has some really important uses in medicine. It can be used as a plasma expander in emergencies to rapidly increase a person's blood volume. It just goes to show how incredibly versatile these simple sugar polymers can be.
So after looking at the storage squad and the structure team, let's bring it all back together. What's the big crucial point that we've learned here today?
It all comes down to this. The function of one of these molecules is dictated not just by its building block, but by the geometry of the bond that connects those blocks. Just look at the linkage and function columns here. A simple switch from alpha to beta completely flips the script, from energy storage to structural support. This simple rule explains so much of the diversity we see in the natural world.
And so we come back to our simple little rule. This is it. This is how one single sugar, glucose, can be assembled into something we can eat for fuel, or into something we can literally build a house with. It's all in the linkage. Store with alpha, support with beta.
It really shows you just how elegant and efficient nature can be, doesn't it? A tiny little tweak at the molecular level can have these massive, world-changing consequences for form and function. And it really makes you wonder, what other incredible secrets are built on such simple, fundamental differences just hiding in plain sight?